Luke?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Jim, a 1-0 defeat today against Lancaster. A better performance, though, than on Tuesday against Whitman.
Oh, well, massively improved performance in so many ways. You can still see the maybe little ragged edges in the way that we defend, because that's not tactical, that's mentality and technical clearances, recognising, to get the ball out of the dangerous area. But I was really pleased with the performance, and I'm so disappointed for the players because they deserved a lot more, especially those young players who come in and had a fantastic debut.
Yeah, I mean, Ricardo Lingard, described by Mark Feld, Lancaster manager, as one of the greatest saves he's ever seen in his life. From the one that came off the corner after it hit the bar, he just couldn't believe his eyes that the ball had stayed out.
Yeah, no, I was calling Ricardo Buffon before the game, and he says, I'm only 10% of that player. I said, you were probably a little bit more than 10% of him when he was your age. No, it was great for him, that, and it'd have been a nice, bright spot if Tungi had taken his chance, and one of the lads had taken their chances. But we'll be disappointed, I'm sure, because it's a defeat. But there was some real positives in the game today. I think people can probably see that I'm trying to get them to play. I want them to play for the lines. I think they kind of lose a little bit of confidence and lose a bit of composure and a little bit of shape. I don't have all the layers yet to break pressing strategies from opposition, or to recognise where the spare players are, how to break through lines. There was some great football in the first half. We didn't quite create as many good opportunities, but we had the chances to get a goal. But we certainly look a better team than what we did on Tuesday night.
How do you build the confidence then? Say you get 2/3 of the way up the pitch, but then it kind of breaks down at the last moment, so you don't really get a chance to get a shot away or the cross into the box.
I think like I said, you can do any sports psychologies. I mean, even top international athletes, Olympic gold medal, they all still work on the mental strength, the mental health, the ability to remain composed under pressure, and it's relative, I mean, obviously that's a high end, but even at this level for some players, this is a big stage for them, and at every level you see people sort of struggling with going behind, and I think there is an issue, not just at Hyde, with most clubs, about how people react. We need to do a lot more in schools and at home in terms of building resilience and getting bounce back ability from people, but all I can do is just encourage them and say that, your performances are good, your contribution's good, don't worry about the results. If you keep contributing and performing in the way you are, the results will come, and I'm sure that if we play like that again, there's a good chance we could win a game. But there is areas we need to improve on, and it's that little bit of weakness when we tire, or that, like that strength that comes with experience and game management that we need to find, but that will come with them over time.
One of the he's nice, isn't it? One of the bright sparks, following on from Tuesday, really, Harry Benson, he was absolutely cracking today.
Yeah, no, I thought there was some scintillating moments. I thought that the shape we were trying to play with Jack Jice on the shoulder and Harry and Pratty in little pockets. The wing backs went really high to give us the threat on the outside, and if you like to take the pressure off those guys. I thought both played really well. I was a little bit disappointed for both of them that they didn't get themselves in the goal scoring opportunities as much. But yeah, there was a lot there that we've been working on, breaking lines, if you like, breaking our shape to hurt the opposition. I think we just need to keep working hard on the quick play and the ability to break the back five. And if we do that and getting behind teams, we'll score goals like we did on Tuesday night. So in some ways our attacking was quite good on Tuesday in the way that we created opportunities. Today, we balanced it out a little bit, far better defending apart from the odd weakness in terms of clearing the ball. But like on set plays, they're a big physical side and we managed that quite well. But yeah, like I said, we are a young group. We're probably a little bit light physically, a little bit light mentally, but we need to galvanise them with giving them the belief that we have in them to become better players, and also to support them with recruitment that enhances their ability to compete more effectively.
It seems like after every game we're asking you about a new list of injuries that have come up. Chinedi Uche went off early today. It looked like his ankle, and Harry Benson went off. We assume he had.
Well, Harry Ben's got a muscle injury, and I think he's still he pulled out on Thursday because he didn't want to take corners. So we've had this situation where, like for example, Joe Green and even Ricardo at the end of this game, that the muscles are tightening up and there's a bit of fatigue there, or maybe a slight strain, and they're reluctant to put the foot through the ball. And I think that Harry said he felt okay, but for me, I was worried because he was like starting to tire a little bit and not looking as sparkly as he did in the first half. You know, that might have been down to the way that they tried to manage him. But so I'm really conscious of, like, we did it with James Jones recently, and even Sinead the last game, making sure that the minutes are right to get them somewhere, but without breaking them down, because we really can't afford any more players to break down. So Jack Jice came off early and Harry came off early because I felt that I need them to be able to start with a freshness and an energy on Tuesday night, and I was hoping that the subs that come on could finish off the 25-30 minutes and contribute. You know, the jury's out whether that was the right decision, but I felt that I've got to put a bit of trust in the bench, and I've also got to protect those that are heavily loaded.
And speaking of Tuesday, Radcliffe, they've had a tricky season so far, just lost the manager, and it's one of those that kind of betwixt and between at the moment. I assume they're not going to have a new manager in place on Tuesday, but if they do, it's one of those new manager bounce things you've got to be wary of.
Well, I think it's not always the new manager. Yeah, new manager could come in with some new ideas and maybe a couple of players. But I think what normally happens in these scenarios, that like this kind of a wake-up call. I think the Hyde had it this season, where the manager leaves and then you realise that there's something wrong, and then everybody tries to take a bit more responsibility. And that's throughout the club, but more importantly on the pitch, because players, I'm sure there'll be one or two players at Radcliffe that be saying that it's down to them, and it always happens. But it's very hard as a manager to get players to get up together. And sometimes a new manager coming in just sort of takes a bit of pressure and that heavy weight that people are feeling from defeats. But like I said, every game's a tough game. Whether you beat a team that's been beaten 4-1. Or bottom of the league, they've all got a little bit of heart, and on the day they can all perform. And based upon what we are at the moment, no matter how good we are in certain instances, we've got a tough game ahead because we're not at our best and we're being stretched. So we're in a difficult place, and so we need to be working really hard to make sure that we don't feel like a defeated team before we play. And I'm sure that Radcliffe won't feel that way either.
I can't imagine you will, to be honest, Jim. No, thank you very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure.